Look, I see matches in the kingdom. I see hunters slaying demons. I see fire on this earth coming down like Hiroshima. I see prophets rising up, prophesying scriptures cut. I see Christ, he coming back, and he black, he look like us. I see it, I see it, I see it.
All right. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Hey, welcome to another edition of Precept Upon Precept. It's the Thursday night late show. We are your host. My name is Captain Shem.
Officer Mikael.
Officer Micah.
Officer Malachi.
And so like we usually do, Israel, we want to ask y'all, help us to climb the journey to get to 20,000 subscribers. We just breached 18,000. With your support, subscribe, like, share, comment. Make some comments in the sections what you'd like to hear. We really appreciate that. So we have our format where we do, we open up with Watchman Report. We come back, we check our thumbnail. We have a new section with Officer Mikael, the Bible verse, right before we go to break. Come back tonight. Officer Matt's not with us. So we're going to skip. Are we doing Kingdom music? So we're going to rock Kingdom music. And then after that, we do the second half of the show. Okay, and then last we do the lower back attack, which is a health session where we do get on people who are overweight and obese. But look, so let's get right to the show. Without further ado, let's go to Officer Micah with the Watchman Report. Take it away.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ. Bless. Good evening. Do not want to hold the show up. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Pray for the tech team. North Korea's spy satellite launch fails as rocket falls into the sea. I guarantee you they're going to repeat. They ain't failing for nothing. Next article, please. Surprise! Mass drone strike spells trouble in the air for Vladimir Putin. But Jake talking about basketball. All this news going on. They want to worry about sports. Next article. Video shows cockpit of U.S. reconnaissance plane rattling as Chinese fighter jet cuts in front of it. Wow. Next article. 3 more GOP governors sending National Guard troops to U.S.-Mexico border. I thought this was the home of the free. Everybody's welcome. Land of dreams, huh? Next article. Equipment for Ukraine drawn from Kuwait wasn't combat ready. IG says. IG is the Inspector General. What they do is they audit your equipment, and if it's not combat ready, they file a report and let you know. And this concludes the Watchman Report.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, like we do, we're trying to get a set pattern for our faithful viewers. And shout out to everybody that's been sharing this video. We've seen an increase in Precept Upon Precept viewership. We appreciate y'all. I also want to give a shout out to everybody throughout the week. Oftentimes send me some good information to help. Shout out to my man Giggs over there in Austria, wherever he's at, one of them countries over there. And a couple faithful brothers and sisters who do send. And I don't use all of it, okay? I don't think I'm going to just put everything you send, but all praises. So we're going to, like we do, we always go to our thumbnail. So we're going to show the thumbnail, let Officer Mikael, the man to my left, kind of break it down.
So basically, we straight to the point. BRICS is set to expand, so we got a globe with the BRICS logo on the globe because BRICS is actually, that's what their intention is, is to include everybody pretty much and take power away from the United States. And we have Vladimir Putin. They want him behind bars. The International Crime Committee wants him behind bars for, I guess, war crimes. They're accusing him of. But the thumbnail is straight and to the point. You got the precept upon precept logos in the back. But yeah.
All praises. Hey, and shout out to Officer Matt. Officer Matt always been putting in work. Y'all know Officer Matt, famous recording artist in Israel. Shout out to him. He's got things going on right now. He's always has his foot to the plow doing the work of the Lord for many years that I've known him. So all praises. Do me a favor. I'm going to start first with number one. Actually, you know what? This is why Akiem is, shout out to Officer Akiem. He's our young IT guy that is very altruistic, but sometimes we don't go according to the exact protocol. Do me a favor. I want the one about the, it's a short video. Bear with me. Hold up, real quick. Say something real quick, Officer Mika, because I'm getting my thoughts together.
So, with this whole thing with BRICS, y'all got to pay attention. Like the old saying says, get your money straight before you go to war. That's what they're doing. They're getting the money straight. They're recruiting. They're definitely recruiting more countries, and trying to take away this power from the United States. That's what's going on with this whole BRICS thing. And it started a while back with, even though Great Britain isn't a part of BRICS, it started back with Brexit, when Great Britain left the UN. And it started to show cracks in the UN and in NATO. So that's why these countries are starting to get more emboldened, and they know that they can challenge the United States,
right,
as the Bible says.
And that's exactly what's going on. They are. And I'm going to show you how they're doing that. That's a perfect segue. That's what I want. I want number two. So we've done many radio shows last year in 2022, Esau calendar, where you saw major uprisings and protest in European countries that did not want NATO in European affairs. So now we're going to go to a country. It's called Kosovo. And I want you to pull the map of Serbia and Kosovo. Any map is fine, all right? And I'm going to give you an example of the U.S. NATO-led troops they don't want them there. Well, here's the proof. Those of you who've been paying attention to what's been going on, this should be the major news story in the planet Earth right now, and it's not, okay?
It used to be, Yugoslavia?
Yeah, I believe, yes. It's had its name changed so many different times. But I said I wasn't going to do it anymore, but I can't help myself. Resident Larback Gabe, if you could please get Gabe used to weigh 190 pounds. The man's 265. Come on. He's like, y'all got to be my son. He's got no excuse. Play that.
NATO soldiers beaten with sticks by local Serbs.
Here's the thing. This is the thing you understand. This is not the Negro beating down the NATO. This is other friendly Edomites angry with the other Edomites that are there. Because what you're going to find is that the weakening of the U.S. is going to come from the Europeans. They are going to go against the U.S. Bishop Nathaniel has taught about it for years, decades, okay? Play on.
NATO troops lie on road after Serb assault. NATO beefs up position in Kosovo after clashing injury 30 soldiers.
Now, real quick. Now, I want you to show a map of Kosovo, because it is a position in the general area that I'm going to show you real quick. They don't want to see me. There we go. That's South Africa. Right planet just completely. Gabe, it's like the difference between a Pop-Tart and a broccoli, bro. They're both food.
Hey, pray for the IT team, y'all.
Hey, so look, okay. It's very close to Greece. If you look Kosovo, and if you look at if you look at a clock, right? So Serbia is 12, which is north. 9 o'clock would be more 10 o'clock Montenegro. If you look down where it says the Adriatic Sea, Albania is in the same coastal area. Greece is right over there. So you got Greece. It's right in that area, which is really more Eastern European. So Kosovo, and north of that is Serbia. Okay, can we back out just a little bit? I like that up there, Gabe. Yeah, can we? There you go. As you can see, as a matter of fact, you can see the boot. Italy is that big boot. That gives us an understanding exactly where we're at geographically. There we go. I like that. All right, so look, if you look at, yes, Serbia is pretty much on the same latitudinal line. Remember, longitude are lines that run up and down. Latitudes are run horizontally. Serbia and Kosovo are right near Italy, and look at Romania there. Let's look north, and you've got Ukraine, and then you've got to the south, not too far away, you've got Bulgaria, Greece, and then, of course, Turkey. And we covered Turkey and Syria. All this area, they have a problem with NATO, okay? So let's go back to that. I just wanted y'all to see the map. We're going to move on. I'm not keeping y'all 2 hours tonight. We're going to move on this for this. Those are Edomites, friendly Edomites.
NATO troops in Kosovo beefed up their positions after violent clashes with Serbs.
Look, hey, real quick. This is interesting because these are not just young. There's an old 69, 72-year-old white man. They understand and see NATO as a international terrorist force that's going to screw their quality of life up. Why do I say that? Remember what happened with the Nord Stream pipeline. If it wasn't for the mild winter, many of those people could have died because they were interdependent upon Russian oil. And a lot of things happened. We had show after show about it. Why would white people in Kosovo, in Greece, in Spain, in Italy have a problem with other white people, a.k.a. NATO, there to set up policy? Because they realize that the that NATO, what the hell does it stand for? I can't remember what the hell it stands for. Anyways, we'll get that later. Play on.
Videos showed clashes between NATO-led Kosovo Force, KFOR, and Serb protesters.
You know, their beef goes back to the dissolving of the Soviet Union, because a lot of those people in those small countries like Serbia and Kosovo didn't want to leave the Soviet Union. They were happy with the Soviet Union. They were happy being communist and having the government control things. It was less for them to worry about. So they see NATO as that evil force that came in and broke that up.
Yeah, in the Soviet Union, when you go back to Mikhail Gorbachev, he was the guy from we were kids. He had a little funny birthmark up on his forehead. But that is a true statement when it comes to the Soviet Union, because Russia is the largest country in the earth, but at the time the Soviet Union was gigantic. And so we're going to peel back the layers here. Is there any more in this video? Because I really want to move on.
Is it just still showing pretty much the same thing, them going back and forth?
So we can move on from that real quick. Let's now go. I want to stay on the same train of thought. I don't want that. I want to skip to that. Okay, I want BRICS. Let's do this. I want to show you. Okay, now I'm going to show you. This is called a supplanting, or this is called a raising up a coup internally. Number 8. A lot of times we think that when we hear stuff about Russia, there's angry Russians that are raising, and they don't agree with it. You really think that is internal based? That is, you give someone that maybe was trained in Russian, you trained him up outside to use him, you pay, you lace his family up with $3-4 million, and then you give him some funding, and you create this second government. We a couple of shows ago, there was another.
They call them jackals.
Right, jackals. But check this out. It's going to show, and I'm going to show you this is U.S. backed. This is not Russia. This is not a Russian patriot. And by the way, shout out to the prophet Isaiah, because we understand that when our enemies are subjected to slavery, that's going to be our justification. That's going to be our victory. Whether Esau is Russian, whether Esau is German or American, they're all the devil the Bible speaks of. We're not pro-Russian. In this beef here, the U.S. Edomites are wrong. Russia has been standing its ground. It doesn't mean that I don't want to really live in Russia. Thank the Lord for living in here. For now, little mercies we have in America. All right? So play that.
We're Russians just like you. We're people just like you. We want our children to go up in peace and be free people so that they can travel.
It says Liberty of Russia Legion Press Service. So, number 1, I don't believe, pause it for a sec. It's still playing. Number 1, I don't even believe what she's translating. I don't believe that what she's saying is what he's saying. Secondly, how does he get a press conference of the Liberty of Russian Legion? And by the way, where were they like 3 weeks ago? How come now there's a Liberty of Russian Legion press? The U.S. is a master chess player, but in the spirit, you can see that we know that it says does not represent Russia at all. This is a stage. This is a coup that they're trying to set up to create, just like they did in Kazakhstan. Mm-hmm. They did that in Kazakhstan, and Russia came in and shut that down. Now, they're trying to do it in Russia. And I'm telling you, the KGB, the Russian Secret Service, that's the equivalent, they're not playing that. And all this stuff is going to come down. You're going to see it. Play on.
Just like you. We're people just like you. We want our children to go up in peace and be free people so that they can travel, study, and just be happy in a free country. But this has no place in Putin's Russia. Rotten from corruption, lies, censorship, restrictions on freedoms, and repressions. In that Russia, where a person's life means less than an official's wallet. In that Russia where a separate railway is being laid to the residence of the bunker grandfather instead of repairing roads in the regions. It's a dictatorship, a country where children are being separated from their parents for calling for peace, and teenagers are being given life sentences. It's time to put an end to the Kremlin's dictatorship. Thank you to everyone who supports us, to everyone who sends us donations and smokes where necessary. Your support...
What I want to show y'all is that this is a way, a strategy to try to weaken your enemy by creating a coup and supplanting a group there and funding them. I wouldn't be surprised if you have the U.S. Funding this whole operation. So I just want to share that with y'all, okay? Yeah, something say.
Cap, I was just curious to know when the Russians started issuing their soldiers M16s rather than standard issue AK-47.
So right, and so... Listen, you was in the military, Officer Micah. I noticed when his muzzle pointing down, look at the buttstock of that weapon, right? That's a heavy point, Officer. See, this is why I'm telling y'all, this is a dog. And later on, we're going to show you that Putin is not stupid. And it is very clear in the whole world, including NATO, including countries like Kosovo, Greek, Spain, all these European countries that protest against NATO, they all see it. Mm-hmm. It's just you stupid American Jakes over here. You're blinded by Cardi B and dumb, stupid basketball. And I'm being overly dramatic about it, but it's the truth. We're blinded by useless information, okay? That's why we're the most obese country. That's why we have the worst education system. We have the greatest military, but the stupidest people, the most unhealthy population. We don't pay attention to things. We're completely, ignorance is bliss in this country, all right? Move on to the next video. I have to jump around because it's not in the, now. Okay, so we're going to get to BRICS in a second, and we're going to get to now. I do want to show you something about the hypocrisy of the U.S. Number 3, you'll hear, which we're going to get into next, they want the ICC, which is the International Court, we're going to get that in a minute. They want to arrest Vladimir Putin for war crimes, right? Now I'm going to show you the hypocrisy of America, the United States of America, because they want to put through Trump, they put a personal embargo on a Chinese diplomat because because China bought weapons from Russia. Now listen very carefully. I'm going to show you how openly that they are hypocritical. Watch this.
Access denied. Beijing's Ministry of Defense has given the Pentagon the cold shoulder, denying a request to hold a private meeting on the sidelines of an upcoming security forum in Singapore. Here's a statement given by the U.S. Defense Department to the Wall Street Journal.
Overnight, the PRC informed the U.S. that they have declined our early May invitation.
The PRC is the People's Republic of China. And generally speaking, when they have these major security meetings, the U.S. does what it always does. They want to have a pre-meeting to let China know what we need you to do and say. So this time, the open invitation comes back, and China says, we don't think so. Play on.
For Secretary Austin to meet with PRC Minister of National Defense Li Shangfu in Singapore this week. The department believes strongly in the importance of maintaining open lines of military-to-military communication between Washington and Beijing to ensure that competition does not veer into conflict.
So what they're showing you is the Pentagon understands that they are in competition. He says that the competition does not turn to escalate into conflict. Now, pay very close attention to what is being said in regards to the relationship between China and Russia, and then they parallel it, or they make a similar situation between the U.S. and Taiwan. Listen to this. Play.
A little background on Beijing's decision. The Biden administration last week upheld sanctions on the Chinese defense minister himself, Li Shangfu.
So pause. You got to see this. So the U.S. wants to have a pre-meeting before the security meeting, but the U.S. put a sanction on the Secretary of Defense. Rewind it. This is how arrogant and pompous the U.S. is. That's like Beijing and their government putting a sanction on the Secretary of Defense for the U.S. It would never happen. It's unheard of. Play it again.
Decision. The Biden administration last week upheld sanctions on the Chinese defense minister himself, Li Shangfu. Donald Trump had initially put those in place for the official's role in China purchasing Russian missiles and jets.
Stop. Real quick, stop. So the reason why a sanction was put on, a sanction is like an embargo, because of the fact that China brought missiles and jets from Russia. Okay, remember that. They're next door neighbors. They share a damn border, right? Now, keep that in mind. They share a border. They're next door neighbors. They also are in BRICS together. Okay, you would figure they could have some sort of global relationship. Now, listen to the next part. Now, this is very important that we understand this. Play on.
18. Now, the rejection comes at a time when U.S. lawmakers have published a controversial list of actions to be taken to prepare Taiwan for so-called peace by arming the nation. The U.S.
You hear that? Y'all hear that? The U.S. is so bold with their ish, you'll miss it. They just drop so much on you. So he flips and and this is not a U.S. reporting agency. I know I'm going to let you speak, but basically they flip it to say, now the U.S. is arming, but they use the word sending aid. The U.S. is way over in the Western Hemisphere. Taiwan is like 4-hour boat ride from mainland freaking China. Do you see the hypocrisy? So I'm Russia. I can't buy armaments from my next door neighbor, but you live and you can arm them. You got to, I'm telling you, the U.S., if any of your brothers who ever doubted the Bible, if you don't understand, we're about to read Isaiah 14. If you don't understand that the white man is the great Satan, the white man is he that smit the people in his wrath. If you don't understand that, we're showing you how bold and arrogant and pompous the U.S. is. And this guy's, he's trying to make a joke about it because he goes from this and then he kind of like keeps a straight face. But go ahead, Officer Mikhail.
That is some gangster stuff. That is some gangster stuff. No, you can't sell your weapons to this country, but this little country right here that's connected to both of y'all, yeah, we're going to sell all our weapons to them, to arm them, to prepare them for freedom. Freedom from who? Who's over there trying to control Taiwan? Last I checked, it was China. That's some gangster stuff right there. No, y'all can't do this, but we going to do the same thing in y'all face.
Right. Go back to that real quick because I just want to show we're going to move on. We always get too much information. Shout out to the people again that send us stuff. Play on.
Committee focused on the Chinese Communist Party's release of 10 recommendations aimed to preserve peace and stability.
Stop. Number one is manufacture and supply more long-range missiles to the Indo-Pacific region. Devise severe economic costs in concert with our allies ahead of time should the CCP act against Taiwan. Expand combined military training between the U.S. and Taiwan. Again, that to China is regional instability. That is regional instability. But they want to, listen, I'm going to say it slow. The U.S. wants to have a pre-meeting before a security meeting with China. And China, the Chinese Minister of Defense had a sanction put on the person because they bought weapons from Russia. But at the same time, U.S. has a plan to combine military training between the U.S. and Taiwan. Do you see how this is crazy? It's nuts. You got to see. Play on.
Taiwan Strait. The number one is the manufacture and supply of more long-range missiles to the Indo-Pacific region. And this comes as U.S. Stinger missiles have also arrived in Taiwan as part of an aid package promised by Washington. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao.
I'm gonna look at number 9 and number 10, and then we're gonna move on. Look at number 9. Read that.
Number 9. Strengthen U.S. military posture in the region by expanding bases with allies.
Stop. Again, the U.S., we had a show on it, has hundreds and hundreds of bases throughout. So now they're telling you they are going to set up more bases in Taiwan. This while the U.S. basically runs everything. And they're saying that we want to meet with you, but yeah, we still got sanctions on your Minister of Defense. So China said this, we're not meeting with you anymore. And this is why we get to the next part of the show. We're going to show you about what's about to happen this week. It's happening right now. This is why they want to arrest Vladimir Putin when they have the convention for BRICS and the expansion in South Africa. Y'all better start paying attention to what the hell we're talking about. Read on.
Hardening fuel depots and enhancing logistics.
So they want to make it a military depot with strong, secured fuel depots, logistics for supply and aviation fields and things of that nature. Read on.
Number 10. Expands Taiwan's military stockpiles.
Stop. Taiwan doesn't have ish. They have no military. The U.S. is their military, and that's why they have these pawns who push democracy. But a lot of the Taiwanese, they are loyal to China. And that's why I'm telling you you're creating a little America. That's the new Israel over there. Taiwan is the new Israel, like in the Middle East. That's the new Israel. The U.S. is going to fortify it. Listen, we're on the brink of World War III, people. You better wake there. And I'm going to have Trump tell you that in a minute. Trump going to Mike can put the same thing up I'll put up. Trump going to tell you that in a minute, okay? All right, get out of here real quick. We're going to skip gears in a minute.
Hey, while Cap is looking for the next thing, can we get Revelation 17:1?
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
That sitteth upon many waters. That means they have bases in every country in the world. They meddle in everybody's matters. That's the United States of America. Mystery Babylon is being revealed right before our faces. And that judgment is going to come by the hands of BRICS. Y'all watch and see. Y'all watch the prophecies unfold. When these countries go to war with the United States, y'all going to see it's going to be these same countries that's forming BRICS right now.
All right, real quick, get me. I was going to jump, but I want to change this. Get me number 4. So while you see, we're going to change gears when we get into BRICS, which is more like Officer Mikhail has been saying for the last couple of weeks about get your money right before you go to war. We're going to switch now because they're doing joint military drills with some of the key players in BRICS. So BRICS does have something to do with the monetary side and the economic side rather. But check this out, number 4, okay?
Russia, South Africa drills.
Whoa.
Pretoria.
Pretoria starts controversial naval exercises with Russia.
Now, I want to share something with you, right? One of my favorite classes in all school was geography. And geography, because when you're a military strategist, geography is a huge part of your planning, right? So what I'm trying to figure out, and I kind of figured it out, and I think I want y'all to start thinking, why would you, if you were a military guy, because China doesn't give a damn about the Congo, unless they're going to rape them of the minerals, why would you want to position yourself in South Africa? Can we move the thing out of the way, maybe? Okay. Well, anyways, when you look at the South Africa is at the bottom, the most southern tip. Why is that so important? When you look, if you have a military outpost and you have fortification right there, you're going to basically divide the Indian Ocean from the Atlantic, and you could control that whole shipping lane. Now, the Panama Canal is still there, but that is where almost, look, the number 1 exporter of oil, which we're going to get to, is Saudi Arabia. So guess where that little hook where the Persian Gulf is? All of that, you want to control that. India is part of BRICS. If you control South Africa, you control India. Now you've got China, you got Russia. Guess what? Now this is where the power is at and the resources at on this side of the world. So this is very pivotal when we're going to show you why South, because I said to myself, who gives a crap about South Africa? I can understand Brazil, I can understand Russia, China, India. Who gives a damn about South? Because look at their position. Go ahead.
It looks to me like they're taking back the Eastern Hemisphere. And South Africa is a pivotal point in that because there are, again, this is the whore that sits on many waters. There are military bases in South America for the United States. So having South Africa fortified is pivotal.
So y'all got to see this, see what's going on here. Play on.
Or we can cross to Cape Town and speak to France 24's Nadine Theron. Nadine, tell us, why did South Africa decide to go forward with these drills?
Well, South Africa's military and defense ministers.
Let me just make a point real quick. I do want to reference something. Those of you who actually track, this was from months ago, and this is not last week news. But I wanted to show you that it is actually bigger than just economic. They've been drilling, so if they drilled in February, they're going to be drilling going forward. This is very, very listen, you're not going to get this in any CNN or any type of regular white European Caucasian news perspective. Play on.
South Africa planned these exercises months ago, and we know that the timing of the exercises may seem very insensitive and it might be quite unfortunate, but the fact is that South Africa celebrates National Armed Forces Day on Tuesday, the 21st of February, to commemorate a naval tragedy that happened in 1917. So that's why this date was selected, as well as the fact that Russia celebrates Motherland Defenders Day tomorrow on Friday, on the 1-year anniversary.
So basically what they're saying is, look, we don't care how sensitive you are. They have a 1917 memorial of a South African, something that happened with a naval accident, and then Russia has Motherland Security Day. So they're saying, no, we planned it for months and months. By the way, you don't plan a joint naval exercise in a week. Hey, Chuck and Roger, we're going to meet you down there with the ships. That takes months, if not years, to plan joint exercise when you're dealing with multi-billion-dollar equipment like that. Play on.
The invasion of the Ukraine, but the exercises between South Africa, Russia and China are meant to reinforce security of South Africa's oceans, and South Africa needs all.
Why would you want to do that? To your point, like Officer Mikael said, that is separating. If you had to draw a line, that creates that water separation. If you can, that's a huge tactical advantage to be able to have. Like, you know, when you fight, when you see the Western movies, they all say take the high ground, so you have the advantage. If you get the bottom of South Africa, the bottom of Africa, now you have an advantage for naval pathways. And plus, if you put airfields there, then you can jump to South America and get over to the Americas relatively quickly. So there's a lot going on. A little bit more, and we're going to move on.
It can get to combat piracy and illegal fishing in its maritime environment. That's why the exercise went ahead, and we know that some of the dozen drills that the forces will be exercising includes, you know, rescuing kidnapped people from pirate ships, you know, anti-piracy exercises, some air defense.
They said that they there to for people who fishing illegally. Yeah, right. If you ever seen movies like Saving Private Ryan, you gotta control the beachhead, because when you gotta control the land, you gotta control the sea, and you gotta control the air. If people are going to attack, they're going to attack from that shore. They gotta get on the border from there. They gotta get encroach from there. So you gotta defend that beachhead. They ain't worried about people out there catching catfish or bass or nothing like that.
Hey, pull up that map of Africa again. I want from this. We need a map real quick, because yeah. Basically, the reason I'm asking for the map is I want y'all to see what Russia is doing, because this is all strategic. You got Russia, South Africa, and China. You got Russia, South Africa, and China. Basically, from South Africa to the United States, you're cutting their travel time. You're cutting the travel time for their Navy in half to attack the United States. Then when you think about how close China is to the United States in the Pacific Ocean, there's a game called Go. There's a military strategy game called Go, where you strategically surround your opponent. The United States is playing that same game, but so is Russia and China now.
They're not playing. Listen. We're about to get into BRICS in a minute. That's it on that video. We got the naval drills. Okay, I'm about to change gears up real quick. Go to number 7. So this is Vladimir Putin is speaking in Russian as a translator. Again, do I know for a fact that Russian is being translated perfectly? No. But what he's saying makes sense, because when you look at the U.S., to your point about the game Go, they tried with Kazakhstan, okay? They broke every one of the agreements with Russia that they had from 1991. And that's how all the Romania, a lot of these countries, Mongolia, they became NATO members or NATO affiliates, because there's an affiliate and and they surrounded almost all of Russia. Now, Vladimir Putin's making a point about Ukraine and its physical location, because and he uses an analogy. So play this.
Armed conflicts are flaring up, directly threatening the security. Vladimir Putin, Russian president. Of all CIS members, what they want to achieve, those who do this. We see in the example of Ukraine that has become an instrument of American foreign policy. The country has actually lost its sovereignty and is directly controlled by the United States.
Now, real quick, and this is how we know it's true, because the only way the Ukraine lasted more than a week in this battle is because they have U.S. led weaponry, to include not just small arms and machine gun, but rocket launchers, tanks, Patriot missile defense systems, all the things that Israel has to fight against the Arabs in the Middle East. They have all of that. So he's right. There's no such thing as the Ukraine. The U.S. is sending billions of dollars in aid. The U.S. controls the Ukraine. And he's making that point. Everybody sees it in Europe. It's just the stupid, dumb jakes over here. We know that Esau is stupid as hell over here. But the rest of the world that are affected, that live in the European continent, in Eastern Europe, they're affected a hell of a lot more than we are over here. Okay? Play on.
That uses it as a battering ram against Russia.
Now, real quick, hold up, pause. He uses the analogy of a battering ram. So, if you go to someone's house and they have a door and you try to kick it in and it does not work, you try diplomacy, you knock, you try to you send gifts and they don't open up. You have to get close enough to that door with enough force to be able to kick the door in. That's what they're doing. The Ukraine, pull up a map, world map, Gabe, and look at the Ukraine. Why are they using the Ukraine? Why did not the war jump off in Kazakhstan? It's a bigger country. Let's look at the friggin' map. And I'm going to tell you why. Look. Well, number one, Ukraine has a lot of resources. Can we blow it up just a little bit? There we go. Now, if you look at Mother Russia, they call it, the capital of Mother Russia is, I want you to go, see where it says Lithuania? I want you to circle that area. That's generally where Russia is. Moscow. Thank you. The capital. Moscow. There's a tactical advantage, okay? And we're going to see this as we move on. This is why Russia is not stupid. This is why they have China, India, Russia. You've got South Africa. And now the big player, tonight's story, is going to be Saudi Arabia. You have now Afghanistan and Pakistan. A lot is going down. In this next part of the show, you don't want to miss it. We're going to show you what's going on in BRICS. A lot is changing.
Hey, Cap.
Yes, sir.
Right there, Ukraine. Remember, they sent, I think it was 2,000 troops from the 82nd Airborne Division to Poland.
Yes.
So that's right next to Ukraine. It's called it a peacetime mission. 82nd, yeah, they do some stuff that like humanitarian, like when Haiti went down. But what kind of peacetime are they doing right next to Ukraine? Ukraine's in a all-out war right now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with U.S. weaponry, major missile systems, defense systems, that long-range missiles that are going on right now. As a matter of fact, we covered it. There was drone attacks days ago on assassination attempt on Putin, that they sent combat kamikaze drones to self-destruct, and now they're actually bringing the fight to so-called Mother Russia, right? Go back to that. We're about to go to break soon.
Against our union state with the Republic of
Belarus.
Against the CSTO and the CIS on the whole. Almost immediately, the Ukrainian territory was turned into a testing ground for military biological experiments. And now they are pumping it up with weapons.
That's exactly what's going on. And the world sees it. And BRICS is making moves like you wouldn't believe. Play on. We're almost done with this.
Including heavy ones, and they ignored the statements of the Kyiv realm about regime about the desire to get nuclear weapons.
Pause that real quick, just in case everybody isn't paying attention. Kiev is the capital of the Ukraine, and they're talking about putting nuclear weapons in Kiev, which is about 90 to 100 miles away from Moscow. This is why Putin is upset.
Now, let's let DJ Trump get me number 10. Let's let Trump tell us, because I'm going to tell you right now, DJ Trump, Donald Trump, and listen, what he's saying, listen, I don't, he's the devil, but I'm going to tell you something. Devils sometimes can shed a little truth. Yeah. There's so many things that's going on behind the scenes that, think about what you just talked about. The capital of Ukraine, they were never a military force. They were never a nuclear threat. They were known for grain production, the breadbasket of the Eastern European, of the continent, right? Now, all of this weaponry going on and all of this happening, and guess what? Now they have nuclear armaments, and they're very close to the Russian border. They border Russia. DJ Trump, we're going to play the whole thing.
Press Trump shows support to I-18.
Tell you what, we are very close to a nuclear war, and we have people that have no clue that that's happening. And we're very close to a nuclear war. And our representatives, our so-called leaders, so-called is a nice term, but our leaders are putting us in danger, the likes of which we've never had before. We've never had danger like this. We've never been so close to the precipice before. And nuclear is really bad. Nuclear is not Second World War, First World War with army tanks going back and forth shooting at each other. This is a big deal. And we have people that don't understand it. They don't understand it. Bad things can happen.
Pause real quick. You want to? We're going to let it play, but you know why we don't understand it? Because Russia, in this particular, is the victim here. Russia is the victim. They're on the side of history that, from Esau's perspective of doing the right thing, will be the right side. That's what articles are saying. Russia's on the right side of history. They tried to play by the rules of NATO. All the treaties were broken. Now they tested them with Kazakhstan. They tested them with these other countries, and now they're bringing the fight to Russia. What do you think they've been preparing for since the Cold War? A world war. They are remember, mind you, the dumb Negro is watching basketball and playing whatever the PlayStation 5, whatever the hell you play now. And guess what? Russia has more nuclear weapons than the U.S. Now, I'm not saying they got a bigger military, but if you are going to attack a dog, even a small dog in his own yard is ready to go out with a bang. You're going to go and try to go in somebody's yard and take somebody's stuff? Listen, they see themselves as doing the right thing. And sometimes the only thing you got left, you got to hit them where it hurts. And you start using nuclear bombs, the U.S. is, how can you use a tactical nuclear bomb? If you use any type of nuclear bomb, it's going to warrant a response of another nuclear bomb. And what's going to happen is it's going to be, Esau wrote a song. It's called, "It's the End of the World and You Know It." And I'm telling you, these devils, they know what they're talking about. Give me that song, Fat Gabe. YouTube, type in The End of the World, you know. I want the Esau to sing it because I can't sing like them. Okay? Play on.
Level, a catastrophe. It's at a level that nobody could even envision. And we don't have people there that have a clue. We don't have you there. Yeah. Yeah, this would never be happening. This would never be happening. We're in very big danger. I think it's the most dangerous point in the history of our country. I don't think we've ever.
You hear that? Why would he lie? What is there to gain? Hold up. What would he gain by Trump lying? He's a multi-billionaire. He has nothing to prove to anybody. We are at the most dangerous point than any time in the history of the United States because we are on the brink of World War III. Bishop Nathaniel has been warning us. He's been bringing out prophecy after class after class after class. And guess what? A lot of these European countries are not happy with what the hell's going on with NATO pressing through the Ukraine as the battering ram to get into Russia. Play on. We almost done with that.
We have a leader in particular. We have a leader that really is not respected. We have a leader that doesn't. They don't even return their phone calls. They don't even return their phone. They returned our calls off very quickly.
Speaking of
they
a
don't
leader
even
that's not respected, was that you, Officer Michael, that posted the video of him falling down at the Air Force One commencement?
All right, the hell, play it. Play Smoking Joe Trips. And listen, this would jump to. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. This is how you know. I'm telling you. Here's the thing. And these people, with all due respect, I understand Kamala Harris. I think her mom's is black, right? So she's not even an Israelite, from my understanding, right? But this is why they laugh, because here you have an old, crookedy, sleeping, uncoordinated president that falls on national TV, and they have a woman as the vice president. These damn Arabs, they don't respect that, man. They do not respect that. And for anything, she's a woman of color, so they look at her as white people see it as she's a nigger too. So. Even though she's not our people.
Like the scripture said, this is the man that made the earth tremble. That's how they're looking at him like, y'all.
What we waiting on?
They looking for Smoking Joe.
Okay, get me Isaiah 14 real quick while we wait. Because I had that. Isaiah 14 start at verse 16.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 16. They that see thee.
I'm sorry. Go to verse 10 and we're going to jump.
Verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Have you become as weak as us? Because at one point, the U.S. set everything. They were so bold, they started setting currency based with no commodity. They took away the gold standard. They started printing money with nothing to back it up and just going and starting wars and stealing other people's stuff. Read on.
Art thou become like unto us?
And now the U.S. is starting to fall. Trump sees it. A lot of these conservative good old boys, they see it too. Read on.
Thy pomp is brought down to the grave.
Why? Because they did things like no gold currency, no gold or silverback currency. Read on.
And the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee.
Right. Death is starting. The worm, that means they're about to go down. Go to verse 14.
Verse 14.
This is how you know it's talking about the white man in America. Yes, and now, yes, Russia, Caucasians, they did go into space with the Sputnik as well, but the U.S. did more. Read on.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
Right.
I will be.
Stop. The Wright brothers, they did it in 1919 and 1917. Short flight, right? They started the whole World War I. They had military aviation. They took air superiority. That's what took the U.S. Navy, Air Force to the next level because they could control airfields. Read on.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
What else did he do?
I will be like the Most High.
And that's why after they dropped the bombs on the doggone Japanese, everybody said, yo, we got to bow down to these guys. And that's the fear. That's why Russia actually bowed down. You brought up a point during 1961 up until 63, the U.S. was about to drop. It was about to be World War III back then because it was the Cuban Missile Crisis. But Russia remembered, oh, shoot. They dropped the bomb on Japan. And why didn't Russia stand up then? Because it wasn't time yet. Read on.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Right, 16.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee.
So, wait, what does that mean, narrowly look at? Because before, you never have to, your eyes are big looking at the U.S. Like, you see this, you big eyes, like, oh, shoot, no, I didn't mess with the U.S. When if you narrowly look down, you're like, you used to be the guy that I used to look big-eyed to? No, this is what's happening right now. We got a whole half of the show coming up. Read on.
And consider thee, saying, is this the man?
Is this the white man in America, the one that we feared so much? Read on.
That made the earth to tremble?
How did he make the earth to tremble? With its military. Okay, pull up, if you can, Asa, the number of just U.S. Army bases. I don't need Marines, I don't need Air Force, I just want Army alone. One division, one branch of the U.S. military, the U.S. Army, which is the largest by far, they have more military bases than almost all the combined bases of all the countries in the entire planet Earth, just from one of our branches of service. 5,000? Read it right. You said 500? 5,000
bases total with around 600 of them overseas.
Okay. So most of them in the U.S., but hundreds and hundreds of bases. Is that U.S. bases or Army bases? I want Army bases. I don't want U.S. military bases. Anyways, read on.
That did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof.
Right, and he dropped the A-bomb. Hiroshima and Nagasaki decimated tens of thousands of people died. Hundreds of thousands of people were affected. At that point, the war was over. World War II stopped. And from that point came U.S. domination. And not black U.S. domination, not Native American, white Caucasian U.S. domination. That's who this is talking about. So this is how we know that, because we're seeing Bible prophecy through the articles and the information that's coming out tonight. Y'all better pay attention. Get comfortable if you want to, okay? We get ready to go to break, Akim? All right. So look, yeah, play Smoking Joe. Look, stay with us. Listen, we got a whole nother Smoking Joe going to come up. We're going to laugh at him to scorn. And Officer Mika is going to go to the Bible verses where he hits up topics that you see, issues in society, and compare that verse, how the Bible says we should be. So go ahead and play that. Wait.
Hey,
Go back.
Did he trip over the air?
I think it's wait a minute. So look, you gotta figure, man. Like let's can we freeze frame this? Because hold up. So maybe, sometimes what they do is they have to cue him. Mr. President, I need you to turn and walk this way. Remember the time we was at the White House and he walks into the bushes and his Secret Service guys, no, Joe, this way. It's like Gabe going to a vegetable patch. No, don't go to Arby's, go this way. Okay, play on. Slow down. Yo, Trump be probably drinking a scotch, laughing his ass off. Trump and the leaders of Putin's wrestling bears and jumping in negative 32-degree temperature, jumping in 0-degree water like a real man. And Biden can't. He's walking in a felt friggin' with wonderful, comfortable shoes on a nice day with no rain. Look at this guy. Look at the guy. He's gosh. Look at the guy behind him.
The other one behind him.
Look at the guy behind him.
Right
He's
there.
like, oh my, shoot. That's the commander-in-chief.
Hey.
That is the commander-in-chief of the U.S. military.
He look like Soldier Ezekiel doing East Corner move.
Terrible. Play on. Hey, one of the dudes in the back was filming it. So he's trying to get up. How does he play it off? Yeah.
There's nothing there. He took a step and fell.
Look at it. And look at it. Most I'm mocking him. Look at the eagle right there. Look at the eagle behind him. Look at the eagle.
The eagle has landed.
The eagle has tripped. That damn devil. So look, Israel, come back to us real quick. So the next half of the show, we are going to show you how BRICS is coming up, rising up, and how because of the next meeting, the whole push is to get Putin locked up with an international court system. All right. So with that, we're going to go to Officer Mikael and the Bible verses. Stay with us.
Like that, no count. We ain't lying, we ain't fly, yeah. A roaring lion crouching down, they don't like that. The tribe of Judah, watch us do this, we gon' fight back. Yeah, your pastor know we lied, talking about he know the scriptures like a butcher, so I keep a knife. Pull it out and cut him with his wartime and spiritual. Praying for my son and them, praying for my aunties and my uncles and my cousins. Hit the streets to bring it out, they don't like that. No count.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High Christ blessed. Hey, this is your brother Officer Mikael, and this is the Bible verses. Hey, let's get right into the video, man. Let's get into this. This seems to be my favorite people to target right now. The Breakfast Club. Let's see what they're talking about today.
She was a little gay, and she took it back. And she's fine with it, but she said she wouldn't date
y'all
a
gotta
guy
start that over from the beginning. I don't think they heard that clearly. Start that from the beginning.
Freaky Friday!
And the Freaky Friday question comes from Jess. Jess said, you know, at a time in her life, she was a little gay, and she took it back. And she's fine with it, but she said she wouldn't date a guy that was a little gay or that had a gay experience.
Yeah.
How gay were you? Like on a scale of like
Hey,
1 to...
pause it real quick. First and foremost, that's a hypocrite. That's very hypocritical. How you gonna say you was a little gay, but you wouldn't date somebody that was a little gay or had a gay experience? That's very hypocritical. Hey, go ahead and play it.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Like
Wanda
I
Sykes, how gay were you?
play with your nipples, but I ain't gonna kiss you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Or or just like, you know, or I don't eat box.
You'll let somebody do you, but you won't do them.
Yeah, I won't eat the box. Like I play with your butt. You know what I mean?
What is going on here?
But I'm not. Yeah, like I don't know. Like I'm not doing it. I even like touch your little box, but I'm not like
gonna taste it.
Like I'm not doing none of that.
Yeah,
like I ain't about
yeah.
to sop it up. Like I'm just not about to do it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I get you. Well, what's the
Yeah.
question?
All right.
That's the question he already said.
Oh yeah. So she is
Hey,
just gay.
Y'all can pause it. Y'all can pause it. Oh. Let's go straight Leviticus 18:22. Let's get the headbanger out the way right now.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination.
The Bible is written in masculine form, so that goes for women laying down with women too. You cannot be a little gay. You cannot do that. How you measure gayness? That don't even make no sense. Exactly. A little leaven the whole lump. Thank you, Officer Akiem back there in the back. Peanut Gallery. Hey, jump up to what do I want? I think I want verse 20. Which one talks about the sisters? Do not bring a sister to a wife to vex her. That's Leviticus 18, and I think it's 20.
Leviticus
18,
chapter
all
18
praises.
and verse 18. Neither shall thou take a wife to her sister, to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other in her lifetime.
So that right there, it goes into a man having threesomes or women and women. It's showing you that we cannot do these things. Drop down to verse. What do I want? Hey, y'all, verse 25. Y'all.
Verse 25. And the land is defiled, therefore I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants.
Jump up to 24.
Verse 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you.
So stop following behind these nations doing gay stuff. Hey, real quick, can we jump to about 12 minutes? I want to deal with Charlemagne real quick. Let's jump to about 12 minutes.
relationships are gay acts.
Well, speaking of sucking D, right?
Yeah.
Charlemagne, didn't you say if Adidas worked out a deal with Kanye, you would suck somebody's D?
Yeah, you actually said
No, that's not what I said.
Hey,
what I said was if they got back in business with each other.
Then they get kind of back in business to get rid of the
Here's
last
the thing
one?
whenever I make that bet, right? I'm only saying that. I only say that in the circumstances of bets that I know I would win.
So you ask bet.
Like when it's things that I know it's not going to happen. No, it's a mouth bet. But it's things that I know is not going to happen.
They got back into business with each other to release these last pairs. So,
No, they didn't.
Wow.
So I'm just saying.
No, they
I'm
didn't.
just
That's
saying.
Well, it's all right. I got a better one. Didn't you say if 6ix9ine had like came
Beat
home
his
or something?
charge.
Oh, beat his charge? Yeah.
He didn't beat his
Then
charge.
you would suck his.
He ain't beat his charge.
He didn't beat his charge?
No. He
But,
took a plea deal.
but Adidas and Kanye working with each other right now to
No, they
get rid of their
not.
last little
That's
thing.
just an agreement to get rid of the old inventory
So
that
you're
they've been
not
telling
gonna
us.
suck nobody D.
Bro, why you want me to do that,
That
so
is
bad? What's up with you,
crazy.
man?
You made the bet, not me.
No.
This
You
is
ass
crazy.
betting right now.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And if I did make the bet, you know who I'm gonna do that to?
Not me.
My own. Of course, it's not gonna be you.
Pause it. Stop. Pause. Pump the brakes. That's an intentional pause for dramatic effect. Charlemagne calls himself Charlemagne the God. I am now going to christen him Charlemagne the Gay. Let's get Romans chapter 1. Romans chapter 1, start at verse 25.
That's the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
Read.
For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections.
Vile affections. If y'all notice, Charlemagne has a bald head. He looks real Egyptian pharaoh-ish in his appearance. So for these things, God has given them up to a vile affection. A vile affection is him talking about giving fellatio to himself. Read.
For even their women did change their natural use into that which is against nature.
What is her name? Just hilarious. Ain't nothing funny about that BS. Ain't nothing funny about that BS. You changing your natural use was just to procreate because you want to experiment. Read.
And likewise also the men,
Charlemagne,
leaving their natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly.
It is unseemly. It is unseemly. And Charlemagne has been suspect for a very, very long time. And he's starting to expose himself. It's starting to manifest. Read.
And receiving in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat.
The recompense of their error, which is meat. It means that the recompense that is good for them. Monkeypox is the recompense that is good for them. AIDS, HIV, super gonorrhea. All these things are the recompense of God for that error. Because God created man upright. And no, you cannot be a little gay. So this has been the Bible verses. Y'all stay tuned for kingdom music so we can get our minds right and focus on this righteousness instead of the wickedness of this world. All right, y'all, Most High Christ bless.
IUIC TV, where we are recreating the narrative for the black family. As the Bible says, where there's no vision, the people perish. The media have been vehicles that have conveyed destructive images of God's children, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Not only are we in the streets, but we are on the airwaves and networks, compelling our people to come back to their heritage. Tune in to IUIC TV.
Shalom. I'm Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ, and today I'd like to present a sit-down discussion with the Jewish community. There's a lot of controversy. There's much hatred that you have towards us. We're the prophets of the one true God. So what we'd like to do is sit down with several of your leading Jewish personalities. The rest of you just stand by. Sit back, move out the way. We want to sit down with Yitzhak Yosef, who called black people monkeys. He's number one.
לא הכל כושים מברכים, אלא צריך שיהיה כושי שאבא שלו ואימא שלו לבנים. איפה אתה תדע? אם אתה יודע, כופה שאתה יודע, ואתה יצא להם בן קוף, יצא להם בן ככה.
Number two, we like to sit down with Jonathan Greenblatt of the Anti-Defamation League. You have so much to say on the Breakfast Club in alluding that we have shot and murdered people in New Jersey. We want to sit down and discuss with you to produce your cause.
And look, they're entitled to their beliefs until that justifies shooting Jewish people with pellet guns on Staten Island. Or like, this is December. 3 years ago, December 2019, 2 black Hebrew Israelites went into a kosher supermarket in Jersey City and killed 3 people because they said they weren't real Jews.
Wow.
Shot them cold dead in a kosher supermarket.
Prove what those lies you have said. We want to sit down with the SPLC, Margaret Huang, Ann Beeson. You also pushed the lie that we have murdered people in New Jersey, so forth and so on. We want to sit down with APOC, Howard Core, and Lillian Pincus. Also, that latest group, the Canary Mission. We want to sit down with Adam Milstein and Howard D. Sterling.
When Tony asked about Canary Mission,
who are the people involved with them?
It's him. It's him.
Adam Milstein.
Yeah, I don't know who he hired to oversee it. Adam Milstein. He's the guy who runs it.
We need to expose the fact that they're anti everything we believe in. We need to put them on the right.
So Adam Milstein, he funds the Israel Project and he's funding the Canary Mission website.
Yeah, which is interesting because it makes it seem as though we're a part of it, but we're not.
We'd like to sit down with all of you. If all, one for all and all for one, however you want to do it. But we will sit down with you. So don't say we're running from you, we're trying to evade you. No, we're not. Okay? Reach us, call us at 1-855-484-4842, extension 7023. Or by email, israel@israelunite.org. All right? The scriptures say, if at all possible, be at peace with all men. And that's what we endeavor to do. So, Jewish community, have a sit down with us. Let's have an open discussion publicly. All right? Shalom.
I'm trying to reach out to the people. I feel my arms ain't that long. You know, salvation for the chosen. I pray you don't wait till Christ come. We getting shot down in the streets from A to all the above. You gotta know your help is coming. You gotta know he chose us. Just know we welcome you with love. Keep the commandments and you good. We preach the same way Noah did. I'm trying to reach out to the people. I feel my arms ain't that long. You know, salvation for the chosen. I pray you don't wait till Christ come. We getting shot down in the streets from A to all the above. You gotta know your help is coming. You gotta know he chose us. Just know we welcome.
Yo, we go the distance. Across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We go the distance.
All right, shalom, shalom. I'm feeling that for Officer Matthew, all right? So we got some more heat off Original Royalty coming to you, all right? If you're tired of listening to, millennials know what I'm talking about, Chicago drill rap And down south, you got grown men named Lil Baby and the Baby. They ain't talking about nothing to move our people, all right? We got some heat for you, straight from original royalty, all right? Show the video, 20 years strong, all right? If you missed it, it's your time to check it out. Run that.
20 years strong, 20 years strong, 20 years strong, 20 years strong, 20. It's been 20 years, 20 years. It's been 20 years strong. It's been 20 years strong. Damn, I ain't scared no more. I ain't scared no more. That boy good.
We fall, we break, we fail. And then we rise, we heal, we overcome.
Why would I give up? Yeah, right here at the finish line. You must not know what's up. Cause we ain't got much time and we been going in. Yeah, it feel like so long. Yeah, and all the hate we done taste at the end of the day, we can say, yeah, it been 20 years strong. It been 20 years strong. Say what, say what?
After all of the trials and all of the tribulation, we stand here an organized nation. Many thought that we wouldn't come back from the odds we was facing, but these bricks built on strong foundations. That's why they in the uproar with no answer for us. They sending spies in so they can damage the trust. Some try to copy the plans of the just, but wax old and they sin, so they can't hold a candle to us. We got the earth trigger. We even built billboards. See the bigger picture? Our haters sit and bicker, but we been getting fitter. Cause we stand by God. We trying to be the full package to get delivered. We got elders that paved the way. Youngins out every day. Sisters for help and stay. Sins that we got to slay. Plus it's way more than we got on the way. Plus these heathens still got to pay. So
why would I give up? Why would I give up? Right here at the finish line. You must not know what's up. Must not know what's up. Cause we ain't got much time and we been going in. It don't stop, won't stop, won't stop. It feel like so long, so long. And all the hate we done taste at the end of the day, we can say it been 20 years strong. It been 20 years strong. It's been 20 years strong.
Israel, stand up. Let's go. Born in afflictions, nurtured in adversity. Our patience wrought resilience. Resilience killed all uncertainties. Hustle wherever the work would be. Muscle for that mustard seed. Focus on repentance while niggas was eventing errors. Some was scared to grow up. Yeah, there's some grown ass kids. We even seen some get locked up for some of that ish that they did. But we some champions. Lord made us different, out here stomping. From Bourbon Street to Bill Barclays, BET bombs. We keep it popping. Ease up, boys. Never giving up or giving in. We the prophets. Better miss us with that nonsense. 80-year really, you look silly boxing God. Yeah, you can't stop this prophecy. Our aspirations different. This here kingdom's just a stop for me. Bishop had the vision, gave the mission, now it's policy. Aimed at exponential. Did we listen, nigga? Obviously. We IUIC.
Why would I give up? Why would I give up? Right here at the finish line. Right here at the finish line. Cause we ain't got much time. We ain't got much time. We're going in, y'all. It feel like so long. So long. And all the hate we done faced at the end of the day, we can say it been 20 years strong. It been 20 years strong. It's been 20 years strong. Say what, say what? Yeah. 20 years strong.
We gotta stop. That's why we here. We're trying to organize black people together. But the fact that we're trying to clean our people up from sin, trying to clean up our people out of Israelites, trying to clean them up from breaking God's laws.
The commands of God are not being taught in the churches.
Now, the IUIC says the movement is full steam ahead.
20 years gone, man, it feel like yesterday. That I met up with the bishop and learned another way. He said we about to go fishing, yo, is you with it? And I became a fisher of men as it is written. Fishing. He threw the net out so we could pull the fishes up. Couldn't see the serpents and sharks was trying to eat us up. Wicked brothers in other camps wanted to beat us up. Whole world coming together trying to defeat us all. I pull my sword out and I prepare for war. And I begin to strike back with Friday Night Raw. I asked the Lord to strengthen my spirit so I don't miss. And put the words inside of my mouth they can't resist. Now everybody hating us, waiting to debate with us. We ain't never lose our focus, we woke the people up. We ain't never made no excuses when all the heat was on. We just told them, man, hold the line and keep it pushing on. 20 years later, yo, we still here. What them haters saying, listen, I don't even care. Real men of the Lord remain brave, cause he that shall endure to the end will be saved.
All right, as you can see, righteous music that provokes our people to good works, all right? Right there was Kingdom Music. Go check out more of our videos on Original Royalty. We on all platforms, Apple Music, Spotify. Check out real righteous music, all right? That's been Kingdom Music. We signing out.
Yo, we go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes, worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah. This is redemption.
Hey, shalom. Welcome back. It's Thursday night, Precept Upon Precept. It's the late show. Get your caffeine, get what you need. All praise to the Most High. Pull up Glenn Beck. You know, he got canceled. Glenn Beck used to be on a major show. Now he has his own podcast. And he speaks a lot of truth. I want 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So now Glenn Beck now, he was very formal before. He brought up some truth about the Gadites over here. Yep. I think it was one of the reasons why he probably got canceled, because he dropped a little bit too much truth, okay? So 2:30, he's going to make the analogy about if Russia did the same thing that the U.S. is doing in Russia, if Russia did it here in Mexico. And he does a very good job of framing it. We've been saying this for weeks now. Start at 2:30. We're going to let it play for perhaps a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Can't be a Democrat because that goes against everything I've always believed. Where are more of those people? Where are more of those people? Where are the people that understand? As I explained.
Wait, pause. Where are we at now? Time mark? Okay, cool. It's coming up.
With our own border. Any doubt in your mind, Stu, if we, just to protect ourselves, we said we're going to take, 20 miles past our border and we're just going to annex it because it's chaos and we need to be on the other side of the river to stop it.
Mm-hmm. So he's referring to the Rio Grande River. He's referring to the border of Texas and Mexico. He's saying, look, if we took 20 miles inboard of Mexico just as a buffer zone, an annex zone, so we could control the climate of our national security. That's what he's talking about. The Rio Grande River that separates the Texas border from Mexico. He's going in and he's going to make a comparative analysis between what the U.S. is doing, NATO-led U.S. through Ukraine to get to Russia. Watch what he says. I'm not going to say no more. Just let it play.
Never going to happen, but let's say we did.
Are you proposing this as a policy? Because it does sound interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's just say we did that, okay, for our own security as a nation, because Mexico just wouldn't help us. They were working against us.
Even if it was irrational.
Yeah.
We just did it. We were the aggressors. We crossed this border.
Correct. We would be wrong for doing it,
right.
but we did it.
Okay.
And Mexico couldn't defend themselves against us. And so Russia stepped in and said, this is an abomination. Even if we all knew, yeah, it really was wrong of us to do that, but we did it for the right reasons, our own security. Russia starts arming the Mexicans and training the Mexicans.
And we should point out, too, an important part of this, publicly.
Yeah, publicly.
Not like leaking in arms in some proxy situation that we're like, we don't know what you're talking about. We're not sending the missiles.
No, openly.
Openly doing press conferences and bragging about it.
Right. And sending, did you see the latest? We're sending them more drones. Russia in Moscow is being attacked by drones. And so what do? We send the Ukrainians more drones? Okay, so then let's say Mexico, with the help of Russia, takes back some of that territory, but then starts to move in, take San Antonio. It's like, you know what? You started it, we're taking it. And they took San Antonio. And it was all being financed and run by the Russians, who were openly saying, we're going to topple that regime. Do you think we wouldn't use nukes if we had to?
Stop right there. And that's the point. He said it perfectly. Let's segue into I just want us to keep that in our mind. We've been saying the same thing. Can you imagine if they were off the coast of Bermuda, trying in distance from Washington, D.C., the U.S. would have already launched tactical nuclear weapons, and it would have been World War would be going right now. Okay, you'd be getting training. Elementary school kids would be training on the nuclear threats, hiding in your desk. All the stuff would come back that we did in the 80s. Now, next one, pardon me. Get the map of 15 and 18. And I want we're going to show you BRICS. We're going to jump and segue into the BRICS, what's happening, and the reason why they want to arrest Vladimir Putin. And this is the second half of the show. All right, so stick around. This is very important. Maybe not interest to some of y'all, but you better learn about it. Okay, so okay, now I want map. Hold up, brother. 15. I want the one with the bricks. Somebody did a good job on it.
While he's looking for that, the video captain just showed, to give you a layman example, imagine trying to back a cat into a corner. That's essentially what if really, like, you just do like a little social experiment. Just get a cat and try to back it into a corner and watch what happens.
Right. It'll fight like nobody's been, and it won't give up. It'll fight until the death. So now, strategically, this is the map of BRICS. And remember, look at the size of Russia. So again, with the exception of Mongolia, China and Russia share borders, one significant border and one small border on the west. Then you have India, major player. Then you have South Africa. We talked about the geographical positioning and the advantages militarily of having South Africa. Then you have Brazil. These are and by the way, Brazil is one of the top 5 producers of oil, by the way, just to point that out there. So all these different, now let's pull the map. Let's transition to the I think it's 19 additional countries, or 13 that are going to be added soon. They put in formal applications. Okay? Come on, tech team. Now, check this out. So, your dark purple is your existing members, which we just showed you that map. Look at the light purple. Countries that have expressed the desire to be part of. Now, this is fortification, because look what they're doing. In the Western Hemisphere, and this is to Glenn Beck's point, okay? The devil had a point. Mexico is now saying, and this is where you begin to see Isaiah 14 form. Mexico could never say this before. Now they have geo-backing, geopolitical, economic backing. Mexico, and look at the second largest country in South America, which is Argentina. So now, then you also look at North Africa. That's Nigeria, okay? You have Egypt, and the number one most powerful country is Saudi Arabia. And we're going to get into something right now that is extremely, extremely important. Look up the 1973 Act of Saudi Arabia and U.S. oil pact, and get me article now. I'm gonna get right to it. Give me article. I want the number. I want the one with the CPA, the Certified Public Accountant. She has a show. I think it's number 6. The CPA. It's a. I think it's 6. Let me look at it. Hold up. Let me look at it. It is number 6. Yes. So I want you to look up that, and then we're going to play this video for a little bit of time. She's given you, she's a CPA is an acronym for Certified Public Accountant. She has a global show as an accountant where she gives the perspective of the economic side of what's going down. And then we're going to show you that something happened very, very pivotally in history right around the time when the U.S. got that went away from gold backing of our currency. And it set the U.S. up to be the major global player with Saudi Arabia. And guess what? They're about to lose it if they haven't already lost it already. So, start. Okay, now, she's not an Edomite. I think, well, she might be Esau, but she's a different type of Edomite. She's from over there. And so, let's start by playing, and then I'm going to have you jump. This is a little bit dry, but she's a CPA in finance, okay?
Hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I know many of you are interested to learn more about the BRICS bloc, the latest developments, and how this will impact the United States dollar and inherently, of course, your savings, your investments, your quality of life. Today, I have some major news to share with you. This is, of course, not something that you would hear in the media. Nobody's really reporting on it.
And that's what we've been saying to you. Why the hell is this not on every major, getting the American public prepared for what's about to go down in the years and decades to come? She's saying, look, this is not going to be reported. This is major news. And she's a tax professional. She's a accountant. She understands markets. She understands micro and macroeconomics. She understands gross domestic products. She understands all of that, okay? Let's hear it from an accountant. Come on.
There's a good reason why. The official BRICS bank, the new development bank, is in the process of admitting Saudi Arabia as its 9th BRICS member state. This is a major move that will considerably strengthen the BRICS alliance. And of course, we have to understand that for the United States currency, this is not good news because effectively the US is losing its biggest ally in the Middle East. This is a big...
I want you to remember that. It's losing its biggest ally in the Middle East. You ever notice why when all the power and structure and money Saudi Arabia has, that when they beef with Iran and when the U.S. beef with any of they never came to their rescue? Because Saudi Arabia has a major deal with the U.S. that has lasted 5 decades, okay? Play on. Yes. Good. Hold that up.
The 1973 Arab oil embargo.
I'm not sure if this is it, but this might be it. Read
the
on.
old rules no longer apply. 40 years ago this week, the U.S. was hit by an oil shock that reverberates unto this day.
Reverberates.
Down south education.
New Orleans public education.
We black, y'all.
Gosh.
Arab oil producers cut off exports to the U.S. to protest American military support for Israel in its 1973 war with Egypt and Syria. This brought soaring gas prices and long lines at filling stations and contributed to a major economic downturn in the U.S.
So the U.S. needed to figure out a way to spike the economy and bring back secured fuel prices. So this is, and she's gonna, the CPA is gonna get into it. Read on.
The embargo made the U.S. feel heavily dependent on Middle Eastern oil, which in turn led the U.S. to focus on instability in that region.
Wait, hold up. Listen, y'all missed it. Read it again.
The embargo made the U.S. feel heavily dependent on Middle Eastern oil.
So if we got to depend on you, we got to go over there and screw your whole area up so we can get cheap oil, mess with you, manipulate you. Watch this, read.
Which in turn led the U.S. to focus on instability in that region.
How do you make a region of the earth unstable? You got to have some serious power. If you go into a grocery store and destabilize a grocery store, that takes a lot of work. You going into, or a mall, you go into a damn group of countries in a part of the world and destabilize the economy.
Hey, Cap, you know what's heavy about this? You're actually reading it, and you're reading it and understanding what really happened, right? That the U.S. went in and caused the instability. But the way they word this is making you think that the U.S. is being a savior if you don't know any better. But you're reading it and actually explaining what really happened.
They caused the instability in the region. Now, read on.
Which has since included multiple wars and other U.S. military interventions.
So now they tell you, multiple wars. Who started? Did the Arabs start the war? Hell no. And other U.S. military, if you intervene, that's what they did in Panama. Oh, you're not strong enough to defend your own country, your ports. Oh, we got to come over and put our militaries to make sure that your stuff is okay for you.
They always talk about peace in the Middle East. There was peace before the devil set foot there.
Hey, officer, it's what they did. I'll read it real quick. It's called a complex coordinated attack. It's a violent assault, a series of assaults by one or more individuals or groups using one or more type of weapons with the intent to inflict harm on large numbers of people. It's complex. Like, I'll hit you here in Iraq, I'll hit you in Afghanistan, but essentially I'm going after these people so I can get what I need from them to destabilize them.
Yep.
And listen, the U.S., remember, Job 9:24 says, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the earth is Esau's, and he's running it, and that's why he has the audacity to put a sanction on the Secretary of Defense for China because Russia sold China weapons, but then across the seas, they're putting up a 10-point contract to strengthen military presence and arm the Taiwanese, which is friggin' 4-hour boat ride away from mainland China. It's amazing. The Bible is a true book. You better wake the hell up.
Hey, Cap,
our people need to wake up.
Hey, Cap, you actually didn't say that correctly. You said audacity. It's actually caucasity.
Yeah, you're right. Damn caucasity. Okay, read on.
The oil crisis set off an upheaval and global
upheaval. Gosh, this guy sucks.
I'm working on it.
Hey, Gabe is more of a pleasure. Go ahead, Malachi. Go ahead.
The oil crisis set up an upheaval in global politics and the world economy. It also challenged Americans' positions in the world, polarized its politics at home, and shook the country's confidence. Author and oil analyst Daniel Yergin wrote in an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal.
Now, real quick. So this may not be it, but now this may not be it. This is from a little older article. Go back to the video with the accountant, the CPA. She gonna tell you. Read on. Play on.
It is a fail, and what makes this even worse is that the US is losing its biggest ally in that region to China. As you all understand and know, Saudi Arabia has been our partner in that region since the 1950s, I believe.
Listen. This is where you got to pay attention. And as y'all tech team listen to this, I want to see if we can pull what she's talking about. So I want you to play on.
That the petrodollar exists. Remember that back in the 1970s, to be precise, in 1973, the petrodollar system was...
Look up petrodollar system, okay? This is kept the U.S. for precisely 50 years. 50 years has given them global international economic dominance. Because she's going to tell you, play on.
as the result of a
Look
deal
at Nixon. I'm not a crook. Look at your boy. Hey, Richard Nixon. They hated this dude, man.
Yes.
Richard Nixon.
What they call him, Tricky Dicky, huh?
Tricky. Hey, Dick. Look, so this guy, look, the Saudi Arabians, and they kept their culture, right? Dick Nixon's over there. I'm not a crook. Now, but he made a deal. This guy made a deal on his watch that set the U.S. up to be a global monster economically. Play on.
Arabia. Both countries agreed to price and to trade oil in the U.S. dollars.
Stop.
And it meant
That's what changed it. Both countries with the petrodollar agreed to trade with the U.S. dollar. Guess what that meant? Anybody that wanted to buy oil from the #1 exporter of oil on the planet Earth had to change into U.S. dollars first. Every transaction was through the U.S. dollar. Listen, that's a gangster move. They said, you know what? We don't need to back our currency with a precious metal or gold or silver. We'll print our own money. That's why the Federal Reserve is a joke, right? Now, if you do an international transaction where everybody's dependent on Middle Eastern oil, crude oil, all the different types of oil, you got to turn your cash into U.S. currency, which is not even backed. Now I can send my military out and go take stuff, bring it in, and create more wealth, and I ain't got to even back. I print my money, and I tell you how much it's friggin' worth. This is why the U.S. is that whore that sitteth on many waters.
So basically what they said was, what's better than gold? Black gold.
Yeah. Black gold and using black people for free slave labor. Right. Okay? Read.
Petrodollar meaning. Petrodollar or petrocurrency refers to the U.S. dollar traded for worldwide crude oil export.
You heard that? U.S. dollar traded, not the yen, not the Saudi Arabian dollar, not the peso for damn sure. It's talking about the U.S. dollar was now the international currency when you have to do with worldwide crude oil. From crude oil, you can even get Vaseline. You can get gasoline, you can get Vaseline, you can get home heating oil, you get natural. Crude oil is, well, actually, that's not true. Natural gas is different than, but you get many other products out of crude oil, okay? Motor oil. All right, read on.
It facilitates the investments of export gains as the dollar is the world's reserve currency.
Did you hear that? The U.S. dollar became the reserve currency for the planet Earth. You got to understand this. They're about to lose this year. Why you think the U.S. is setting you up for the digital currency? Esau got a cap in it, feather in his cap. He ain't gonna let this stuff go down like this with BRICS. Bishop Ben told y'all this already.
So this is what happened, right? In the 70s, it was kind of the same thing going on. The U.S. noticed countries getting stronger, and okay, they're not going to be as dependent on us. So let's move from gold, and we're going to flex. We're going to make a major flex. We're going to have our currency be everybody's reserve currency. How do we do that? By having it traded by oil. So now we see BRICS coming together, and BRICS is making moves to combat the petrodollar. So what's the next flex? Let's go into digital currency, so we don't have to back it again. They're doubling down on what they did before. It's the same game plan.
And that's how they can get the Israelites, because if you have a social credit score, meaning if you are seen as someone who, let's say, for example, you have a score, a value that's assigned to you. And let's say, for example, you see some of these so-called Christian pastors that get arrested for speaking the Bible. You'll get a tick on your social credit score where they can actually fine you or have you be less value socially. So you may not be able to qualify for a passport because you got too many dings on you. You may not be able to qualify for a home loan because they see you as, we don't want you to go into that neighborhood because you bring a certain social upheaval, your value. This is, I'm telling you, we're going to go to that. And it's coming, and this is why I was at the airport about 2-3 months ago. And I noticed it once before, but it's probably just nothing. There's a lot of places now that you go to that they will not accept cash. And that's the beginning of, now it will be a card. Now remember, when they first started to do Apple Pay. Now it's not even a card. It's on your phone. It's going to get to the point where you might be able to get it with your watch. It's going to get to the point where it's going to just be something waving. You could be your hand. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but to the point where everything that happens to you is going to be based upon your digital value. And we may see that in our lifetime, but the reality is that the U.S. is not going to allow this currency and this movement of BRICS. They're not going to allow it because they got more military bases than anybody. They can fight and just take everything they want. That's what they're going to do, okay? And then guess what's going to happen? There's going to be too much power. The European Union, all of them are going to come together, and they're going to weaken. And World War III is going to pop off, and you're going to see what's going to happen. And I don't know when it's going to be, okay? Was that it on that? I'm talking fast, but I got to get through a lot. Real quick, we're going to switch gears now. That I really wanted to get more to the CPA's perspective, but that was the main point. Now, get me number 9, because what they're going to try to do is BRICS is having a summit coming up shortly. I don't know exactly when the meeting is, later on in the year. And this summit is supposed to be in South Africa. And actually, pull up the ICC, which is, I think, 13 or 11. International 13. It's government.nl. We're going to look at the ICC. It's an acronym that stands for the International Criminal Court. You have to know what that means to be able to understand and who's involved to understand why you've been hearing about the news. Vladimir Putin, they want to arrest him in South Africa. This is what they're talking about. It's the ICC. Who controls the friggin' ICC? That's what we want to know about. Read.
The International Criminal Court, ICC.
Actually, it should be called, to your point, Officer, the International Caucasian Court. That's what it should be called. Read on.
The International Criminal Court in The Hague prosecutes those accused of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. In Go ahead, scroll. Crimes within the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court. War crimes. War crimes include torture, mutilation, corporal punishment, hostage taking, and acts of terrorism. This category also covers violations of human dignity, such as rape and forced prostitution, looting and execution without trial. War crimes, unlike crimes against humanity, are always committed in times of war. Genocide. This includes all acts committed with the intent to destroy a national, ethnic, or religious group.
So, long story short, the ICC, the International, Court?
The International Crime Court.
Crime Court. They're basically saying that Vladimir Putin is guilty of war crimes. Now, later on, I'm going to get an African president checking a reporter saying, what? Well, why should we arrest Putin when he comes to South Africa for an event for an international committee? And he said, well, what about all the crimes that your country did in Iraq? How come none of your leaders got arrested? And he got them stuck. Because the U.S. is responsible for hundreds of thousands of innocent civilian casualties in Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait, other Middle Eastern countries that we don't even know about, okay, that they have sent combat missions, attack missions. I watched it in 1991 on the damn television, on the color TV. I watched the doggone war. It was Gulf War I. We were watching it in our friggin' living rooms, okay? Where we at?
So the International Criminal Court is where they go to convict you of war crimes. So I wonder, do they have anything to do with the Geneva Convention? Is that what that is? Because I know Geneva Convention talks about war crimes, and that's always something that the United States throws out there. Where at the Geneva Convention, as the reason why they got off.
Geneva Convention has to do with ethical practice of war. Like, you're not supposed to, if somebody surrenders and does a white flag, there's certain processes you have to do. Like in Vietnam, the Viet Cong, they didn't give a damn. They was doing bamboo shoots, and they was setting people up, putting feces on spike pits. They were going crazy. This here is, what's this? This is it. You found it. Where'd you find this at? You're on point. This is the article. This is a reporter. This should be a black man he's interviewing. And I don't know where it's at, where I time stamped it. Is it 2:20? Yes. Is this 5? Hold up. This is what I want too. Okay. Play it.
That a head of state can just be arrested anywhere. How many crimes?
Pause. Stop. Perfect. So this is exactly what I wanted. So basically, what he's saying is, hold up. You want us to arrest Vladimir Putin? And he's like, but he's here for an international convention that it is an organization, BRICS. It's recognized throughout the earth. And then now he's flipping it. He's getting frustrated with the reporter saying, hold up. What about your country? What about what you've done? Were any of your leaders actually arrested? So look at a pompous, arrogant Edomite reporter, okay, who he does not have any understanding of world history at all. That's how stupid Americans are. They're really some of the stupidest people on the planet Earth. And what I mean by that is he's entitled to think that everything he's learned is right. He doesn't even have the mental capacity to understand another side of the story. Okay, play.
Who is being investigated for war crimes by the International Criminal Court.
We will welcome him to come here as part and parcel of BRICS, but we know that we are constrained by the ICC in terms of doing that. Putin is...
So the ICC, we just reviewed that. So we reviewed it so you would understand. The ICC, International Criminal Court, that was set up so that Esau could try to trap the people and arrest them if they went against certain policies. And Vladimir Putin, they're trying to line him up saying he's responsible for the war crimes and different things that happened in the Ukraine. It's all his fault. So now he's pressing his African leader. The African leader is about to check him hard. Play.
State. Do you think that a head of state can just be arrested anywhere? How many crimes have your country committed in Iraq?
Now the question.
Pause. Here's the thing. He cut the hell out of them. That's why they didn't want to show more. Because he was about to go in on his ass. Because it wasn't not just Iraq. The U.S. has done, and it uses, let me say this. And it uses, I'm not justifying, but it uses poor white people and black people and minorities to do all the actual fighting. The staff sergeant, the NCOs, even some of the small-time officers, they don't, there's an old saying, rich men make war and young men fight it. And that's exactly what's going on. So Esau does things in the name of democracy, and they murder entire economies. They destabilize economies. How did they take Hawaii? How did they take Alaska? How did they take all the places through war, destruction, deception, the same way he did with the North American Indians, okay? Peace, but war was in his heart, okay? Is that it on that? Okay. We're almost done. We have a lot to cover, but I'm only going to get one more. Go to number, this should be a two-part show. Number 6 and number 5 and number 6, and we're going to then go to law back attack. We did 6. We do 5? 5 and 9, and we're going to close out with law back. So just be mindful. It's a little bit fast tonight. Be very mindful of the things that are going on. The reason why they're trying to arrest Vladimir Putin is because he's actually standing up for his homeland. He's standing up, and he's on the right side of history, whether or not you agree with it or not. And the victim is being played as he's the aggressor, okay? And these other countries in BRICS, these other countries in Europe, they all know the truth. And that's why you saw earlier in Kosovo, the Serbs were rising up against the NATO troops because they know what's wrong. That's why they protested in Rome. They protested in Spain. They protested in Germany. They protested in all these different lands that NATO got to go. In France, they had it. They're tired of the U.S.-led NATO encroaching with Russia and messing up their lives over there, okay? Yes.
The African nation has issued a notification granting diplomatic immunity to all international participants, and this includes the Russian President Vladimir Putin and the other Russian officials who will be attending the BRICS-related events. that are to be held in the country. But there is a catch. The International Criminal Court, remember, issued an arrest warrant against the Russian President Vladimir Putin. The warrant was issued after the ICC held Putin responsible for the war crimes like unlawful deportation of children from occupied areas of Ukraine.
Wait, pause real quick. So what was happening there? Just be careful what was being said to you. Unlawful detaining, because there were Russian citizens right on the border towns of Ukraine. They were being attacked by the Ukrainians, saying that if you're anything pro-Russia, you got to go. So they were trying to get them back into Russia to protect them. That's what he was doing, because NATO's been encroaching the whole way. Okay? Go ahead, Mikhail.
Hey, it's that unlawful deportation of citizens. Hey, can we go back to that to the article on the ICC real quick? I want that bulletin point on what war crimes are listed as by the ICC. Let's. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. Y'all can just put it up. Y'all put it up. Read that.
War crimes. War crimes include torture, mutilation, corporal punishment, hostage taking, and acts of terrorism. This category also covers violations of human dignity, such as rape and forced prostitution, looting, and execution without trial. War crimes, unlike crimes against humanity, are always committed in times of war.
So I didn't read anywhere where it said anything about deportation. So are they saying that their own citizens are being held hostage?
I'm telling you, Esau is able. And by the way,
framing mystery by law.
If you look at the ICC, there are 60 countries. And remember, anytime you set something up, there's a ruling party that governs that. And what you're going to find behind the scenes, it's not Saudi Arabia, it's not the North African countries, and it damn sure it's not Mexico that's doing that. It's the United States of America. Why do you think the United Nations capital, where is it held? Where is the United Nations, where do they take place? New York City, the belly of the beast. That's where the United Nations is located. Crazy.
So you mean to tell me this 173-year-old man that can't walk straight is in control of all of this?
That's why they're laughing.
Father.
Is this, you got 5 already? We did 5? Okay. That was all I wanted for 5. Just to show you that the ICC is ordering this, and that the South Africa's like, look, we're going to grant diplomatic immunity to Vladimir Putin and also the other Russians, because they don't see it like that. They see it as BRICS is a valid organization, and they want to pardon him, if you will. Number 9, and we're going to go to Larback attack. Number 9 is going to, look, we could have done a 3-hour show on this. We're going to continue to track what's going on, because I think tomorrow, June 2nd and 3rd, BRICS is having a pre-meeting where they're trying to establish. So this weekend, there's major things that are going on in BRICS. So next week, we should have updates. Y'all need to watch and pay attention. I know it's late. It's Thursday. A lot of you are tired. We're all tired. Pay attention what the hell's going on. Okay, so we did them all. We did 6. What's 6 say? You didn't do number 9. Do number 9 real quick. Let me see something.
Hey, what the ICC ain't telling the Negro is, look, man, he finna hit the pockets. We got to fabricate. Hey, we got to do something.
Yep. What it is, basically, what they're trying to do is, if they smite the head, the rest will scatter. That's what they think. So number 9 was the South African president.
Hey, old fall down Joe better start producing them Teslas.
You better do something.
Saudi Arabia about to roll.
You better do
Hey,
something.
go to 2 minutes. That's why I didn't finish what you did do number 9 before Akia, but I want 2 minutes, and we're gonna show a little bit more of the interview.
Being investigated for war crimes by the
We
International
will
Criminal
welcome
Court.
him to come here as part and parcel of BRICS, but we know that we are constrained by the
I'm sorry,
ICC.
skip ahead. Skip ahead. Go to about, here we go, right here, perfect.
And for August, with South Africa saying it could give him diplomatic immunity to attend. What message would that send to the 130 plus other countries that signed the Rome Statute setting up
So
the
there's a thing called the Rome Statute, the Rome, R-O-M-E statute that 130 countries signed with the ICC. When you get a chance, go look at the ICC, look at its origin, look at how it was created, look at the government, who creates and sets policy, who are the men that wrote that. The ICC is another tool, just like NATO, just like the European Union, for the white man to control the entire earth, okay? I just wanted you to see that there's a called the Rome policy. You can look it up on your own. All right, look, y'all. Hey, it's late. We're going to stay on track. The last 10, 12 minutes of the show are going to be called the Lardback Attack, and we're going to deal with health and have a little bit of fun. So y'all stick around for Lardback Attack. Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel, Most High and Christ bless. Listen, I took the time that I realized some of you that watch the show don't take well to fat shaming. So what I wanted to do is come on here and give you some insight as to why we do, well, I do fat shaming. Because there's a thing called a negative consequence. So do you think that we should, or positive consequence, should I, because you're fat and you're not of optimum health, reward you for being that way? Or should I make people have a positive reinforcement for being in shape, for not being overweight? So the direct result of you being fat is because you never were held to a standard. So fat shaming is actually good. It provokes you to do better. Now, if whether you fat shame with jokes or whether you do it education-wise, I'm not going to change what I do here because I've been in the hospital and seen a lot of people die and dying around me. And I know what it's like, and I know it's because of hypertension. And I know that black people, the #1 killer of black men in America is heart disease. How do you get heart disease? When you have plaquing and calcification of your arterial walls because of the crap that you ate. So it's going to take a revolution, a health revolution, to wake up. And you fat lard ass, I don't give a damn how you feel. This is tough love. You need to lose the damn weight. So you can take that to the bank, okay? And not to the food bank, lard ass, okay? Read Sirach 30, verse 25.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 25.
And you can log the hell off if you got a problem. Read.
A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
Talking about you walked up one flight of steps and you felt like you ran a mile. You big, disgusting, barrel-gutted lard ass. That's your fault. It's not mine. And guess what? It took you 27 years to gain the weight. You can lose it in 27 weeks, lard bear. Read on.
A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
You got to first start caring. Okay, what you did doesn't work for you. So what do you have to do? Listen, I've been telling you. Listen, I ain't going to even plug this guy. Healthy keto. You should eat 1 meal a day. Get permission from your doctor. Get permission from your doctor. Get permission from your doctor. Eat 1 meal a day. Outside of your window, drink water. You can have a little bit of salt. You can have black coffee or green tea or type of teas. If you do that and you eat healthy keto with about 75% of your food coming from plant-based matter. Here's an example of a healthy keto meal. A piece of, say, 8-ounce piece of, say, salmon or a lawful fish, a whole bunch of cruciferous greens, maybe a half an avocado, broccoli, as much vegetables as you want, and some blueberries or strawberries or raspberries for dessert. That's your whole meal for the day. It is mostly plant-based matter. It is healthy keto. If you do it, you will lose the weight. You will lose all the weight, and you'll keep it off because you don't have a care of your diet. You'll make excuses. And that's why you, in the comments, you make sensitive comments. You're never going to win them over with fat shaming. You need to support them. No, lard ass is, when you console a lard ass, he stays a lard ass. Okay, read.
A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
And some people do not care no matter what you tell them. So you got to shake the damn fat tree. Read on.
That's it on that guy.
Okay, now, pull the first picture. I want the engineering field, please. I can send them to you if I need to. Now, I want to apologize to all carpenters in the earth, the planet Earth. What do we have here? Is it failed engineering? Those are, looks like 1x6s, which usually can hold at least 500 pounds. The lard back was coming down. Lard backs, that's why if you notice, more fat people live in the first floors of apartment buildings. I don't know if you've ever paid attention to that. Not too many lard, unless the elevator is working at all times. So the lard back was coming from above. Lo and behold, the lard back broke more than one step. It looks like 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 floorboards came tumbling down. But the lard back was so big, he couldn't fit down that hole to go down where the other board went. See the other board that went down there, that concrete? The lard back fell. And what I am absolutely amazed at is the little teeny twig boards behind him didn't crack as well. They could have been screwed with 2 3-inch screws apiece. Anyways, what is the moral of the story? Failed engineering or the lard back strikes again? I think we're more inclined to the second part. And that brother's a smooth 400 pounds. Easy, okay? Look at his gut. And I'm supposed to reward that? No, that's a disgusting, horrible lard ass who needs to be shamed. Some of his uncles and his father should have smacked donuts out of his friggin' hand. Hey, stop doing that. I would have locked his ass in a room. Okay, I would have locked him in a room because that you can't do that. But I would have put tough love on that lard back. Somebody should lock our resident lard back Gabe in a room. All right. Next slide, please. There is another video of epic proportions that is significant. Just because the lard bag is fat, now this is spectacular. Now, go back a little bit. So let me paint the picture for you lard asses and you sensitive fat backs. The lard back, you ever heard of blondes have more fun? The lard back has a saying, fat people can have fun too. Yes, but you have to know your place in society. That's a fiberglass slide, folks. Now, rewind it, please. Everyone, they're all tired. They want to get the hell out of here. I don't care. I don't care if I'm annoying even the tech team. Don't care. 50% of a tech team is lard ass. Anyways, can we play the video? You played the damn... Okay, stop, pause. Okay, now. So the first mistake was this. Notice the men out with their smartphones. Nobody else that went down the slide. Nobody pulled out their smartphones for nobody else. This is the only person that they at that dinner party, because it's a dinner party. You know why I know it's a dinner party? Because it's at night. They're all gathered around the drinks. It's a pool party. And let's say it's a sign of value. His name is Wilson, right? So Wilson, this is the talk around the pool. Hey, Wilson's going up the slide. Quick, get your phones out. Why? Because they know something spectacular is going to happen in the world of the lard back. Wilson, trusting in the engineering of this fiberglass slide, looks up. He probably is smiling at this point. Wilson is no more than 396 pounds. He might be a smooth 390. And that slide's weight capacity is about 386. I'm making this part of stuff up. Wilson now is going to test, and we're going to see something that is very interesting. Notice the men in the back are very content with their smartphones blazing. And look, there's another ripped guy that's sitting somewhere near the slide. Let's see if he moves out of the way of the lardback. Press play. Pause. This is not funny because, when fiberglass breaks, that could cut the hell out of you, right? The lardback did not break the slide. He shattered the slide and fell through the bottom. Notice and the man jumped up. The man in the blue swim trunks, he was sitting down before. Notice all their smartphones now are focusing and tracking Mr. Wilson. The lady in the pool now turns and she's like praying for the lardback. So, what is the moral of the story? Lardbacks, you should never go down a fiberglass slide at a pool party. Okay? Play it again. Please, Gabe. Pause. Notice, nobody is helping the lardback up. They're laughing. I'm telling you, listen, they're laughing at the lardback. Not only that, they're looking down on him like, should I help him up? Because you need 3-4 guys to pull the lardback up from in between the fiberglass splinters slide, right? Shout out to Fat Mark. You're not that fat anymore, Mark. Okay? Play it again. All right. Give me Sirach chapter 31, verse. Listen, for those of you offended, what you can do is this. There's an organization called, what is it called? For the advancement of fat people. There's an organization where they promote self-love for lard asses. And you can go join that and then also get on your 6th medication for statin that lowers down and relaxes your blood vessel walls because of the fact that there's so much arterial buildup because you're 180 pounds overweight, you disgusting barrel-gutted fatback lard bear. Okay? It's not my fault. You can fix it, though. Every one of you. Doesn't matter. You can fix it. Read.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 19.
I want 16 first.
Verse 16. Eat as it becometh a man.
Eat as it becomes a man. Mr. Wilson, who was on that slide, had eaten to the point where he became morbidly obese. And he walked around in life thinking that everyone likes me, I'm just a little overweight, knowing that he's the butt of all jokes, okay? And it's something to think about. And we don't need our people to look like this. And so it's going to take strong men to set the nation in order. And it's going to start with you fat lard-ass brothers. Shout out to Fat Mark, who's lost 251 pounds. Okay? We need champions like that. Remember in Black Adam? It was the champion of the people. We need fat champions to come out of your disgusting fat suits, turn into guys that lost the weight, so you can go send the elevator back down. Notice it has heavy-duty shocks and springs in the shaft. You send it back down and pick up the lard asses and bring them back up to your level. That's what we need. And then when we accomplish that, you're going to see in Israel United in Christ, you come into this truth. I put away the pork. I put away the sin. And I put away being obese. Those days are over. We're going to change, and it starts with strong men. Read it again. Almost done.
Eat as it becometh a man. Those things which are said before thee.
So a man has control over his life. Eat as it becomes those things which are set before you. I keep saying it. You can cook for yourself or prepare food for yourself. Or if you're married, it's the woman, your wife. So if you're single, you set the order. I'm going to this restaurant. I'm only ordering this. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm only getting this. I'm going to cook. I'm only getting this. And that's it, because I know my mission is to lose this weight and to get healthy, to lose weight first. Okay? Then as the man does it, you tell your wife, I need you to eat this. You're not going to eat this no more in my house. I need you healthy, sister. My children, okay? I'm not going to allow them. The men set the tone for the nation. That's why the men have to run the church. We run the congregation. We must run health first. And a lot of you lard asses, because you like to eat stupid fried chicken, all that stuff. And you brothers are on 5 medications. And some of you brothers in formation is 350 pounds and you're 5'9". Come on, man. 6'2", 383 pounds. Are you serious? We got to fix this. And I love, and you know, brother, I love y'all, but you're making me sick. Read it again.
Eat as it becometh a man.
Come on.
Those things which are set before thee.
Come on.
And devour not.
And that's how you became morbidly obese and obese, because you were devoured. Why? There's something inside you haven't figured out. You don't like yourself. You're depressed. The things that you go through, you turn to food for consolation. You turn to food for answers. You turn for food to get out of depression. You have to control your mind. And as you become more healthy, your depression will subside. Okay? Talk to anybody. I know his brother was 330 pounds. No, sorry. 323. I forget the brother's name. 323. And he called. I screened all the lard backs. Cussed his ass out for like 5 minutes. Said, you don't care about your children. And I got under his skin. I said, listen, if you do this, lard ass, in less than 6-7 months, you lose all the weight. The man lost 111 pounds in 25 weeks, which is less than 6 months. And he feels incredible. And how did he do it? 1 meal a day, healthy keto. Nothing outside the window. He lost 111 pounds in under 6 months, and that's not uncommon. So I want to hear any damn excuses. Read it again.
Eat as it becometh a man.
Shout out to Severus. Read.
Eat as it becometh a man.
Come on.
Those things which are set before thee.
Right.
And devour not.
Don't be a pig, you big disgusting lard bear. Read on.
Lest thou be hated.
And that's what we see, man. Listen, at the end of the day, man, we laughing, but at the end of the day, if that was a brother that I grew up with, or let's say somebody that I care about, the dude is probably mortified. He laughing at himself and all that. How you think you feel? You fell on a slide, you broke the slide, everybody look at you and laughing at you. You might have cuts all over you. You worried about, can I even get up? Yo, you want that? Nah, man, no. We not supposed to allow that, man. When I was a kid growing up, if you was fat, everybody shamed you, not because we hated you. We wanted you to stop. Hey, man, throw him the ball. Let's get him moving. Real brothers help brothers, man. You're not supposed to be like that. You know what? And I'm talking to all you at home. And I ain't saying nothing to you women. It's the men. We're going to fix ourselves first, and we're going to turn up on you. To our example. Read on.
Leave off first for manners' sake.
You got to learn to leave off 3, 4, 5 times a meal a day. It doesn't work for you. 1 time a day. Get healthy keto. Try it. Talk to your doctor first. Read on.
And be not unsatiable, lest thou offend.
And complex carbs is killing you. Refined carbs is killing you. Okay, it's storing the fat. You're not burning it. You got to get into ketosis to use your own fat. Get into caloric deficit and use your own fat as fuel. All right? Last video. Last picture. I'll send it to you if you don't have it. Thanks for staying with us. I know we're over, but I'm never going to do a 2-hour show. I'll try to. Get me that. Do you have it? I'm going to send it if you don't have it. I got it saved. Nope. Hold up. Yeah, that lard back. The brother, he doing like the robot, but yeah. So here's a, we showed you Skitty Bebop, but now we have a Judah, I think he's Judah, a lard bear who failed as a sumo wrestler. And he now decided that he is going to try to entertain at a local venue, an outdoor local nightcap venue. Notice the lard bear has pretty free right now. Play. Now, pause. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I know one thing. At one point, that boy was a normal child. And through years and years and years, he has accomplished a gut the size of probably a 5th grader. And it's wrapped around his weight, and guess what? That lard back could lose that weight in less than a year. He's probably a smooth 120 pounds, 140 pounds of weight. He could lose that weight in probably a year. All right? So, and this is most likely he's Israelite, okay? Play it again just for as we close out. And nobody said the lard back is not coordinated. Here's the thing. I'm not saying the Lard Bear doesn't have moves. He's got moves. But do you think people are smiling and laughing because he's got good moves? No, they're astonished that a big, fat, disgusting lardback is able to do that, and he's an anomaly. He's a statistical outlier. And they don't care about the fact he's got some rhythm and all that. He's got the little do-do-do-do. But he's a big, disgusting, morbidly obese lardback whose arteries are the size of a pinhole. Okay? Meaning the blood is hard to pass through because he's morbidly obese. Anyways, that's been the lardback attack with Captain Shim. Let me say this, brothers. I'm a thorn in your side. At the end of the day, you brothers should not be in purple and gold looking like a big, disgusting lard ass. 1 meal a day, healthy keto, talk to your doctor, lose the weight for your nation. If you're fat and disgusting and overweight, chances are, well, I'm not going to say that, but you're disgusting. Lose the weight. With that, I say shalom. All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. Hey, I hope we didn't lose any more followers. Love y'all. Thanks for staying with us. Precept to my precept. Next week, we're going to get more into World War III preparation. Putin, what happens with BRICS. Thank you for tuning in. Thank to all of you who subscribe to our YouTube page. Click, like, share, bell notification. When we have a video, share it all around. We're trying to get up to 20,000 beyond. All praise to the Most High.
All right, Israel. Attention. We need all IUIC members and followers to subscribe to IUIC Diaspora and IUIC Levant on every social media platform, as well as all international channels. We must reach the dispersed of our people. The world of Israel is waiting for you. So, if you like that show and you want to help us do more, all right, give alms. To give at your local school, drop an envelope in the alms box. To give online via PayPal at iuic.neworleans@israelunite.org. Also, support the Booster Club, all right? To give to the Booster Club via PayPal at iuic.fundraising@israelunite.org. Land Fund. You heard the bishop put out the vision for next year's Passover. We need our own land. Let's make it happen, Israel. Send in your donations via PayPal. Make sure you put land in the notes. How? PayPal, email, israel@israelunite.org. Label land. All right? We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Tired Crew. Thank you for staying with us. The Late Show. It's after midnight in New York. Listen. Subscribe, like, share. IUIC New Orleans. I'm going to say it to them blue in the face. Thank you. If you have ideas for the show, right, put it in the comment, okay? We're going to do more call-ins. Okay, we're not patient saints level, but look, we want to do more for y'all. We want y'all to enjoy the show, and if there's things that we can do better, let us know. Please do, all right? So with that, we're Precept Upon Precept, Late Crew signing off, and with that, we say
Shalom.
Shalom.
I see. Look, I see mansions in the kingdom. I see hunters slaying demons. I see fire on this earth coming down like Hiroshima. I see prophets rising up, prophesying scriptures cut. I see Christ, he coming back. And he black, he look like